Malaysia jumped to the future while the rest of the world still moved at a normal pace. People began saying Malaysia looks like the year 2050 while others are still in 2025. This change did not happen by magic. It came from plans, actions, technology, stability, unity, and a mindset focused on the next generation instead of the next trend. When people first stepped into Kuala Lumpur, Johor, Penang, Sabah, and Sarawak in recent years, they felt something different. The cities looked cleaner, the transport felt smoother, and the public mood felt more hopeful. While many countries were stuck in political fights, economic worries, and social pressure, Malaysia used its stability to push upgrades fast. It worked quietly while the world shouted loudly. That is how a small country began looking like a future model. Malaysia advanced first because it solved problems that other countries ignored. The world talked, but Malaysia built. The world argued, but Malaysia tested. The world hesitated, but Malaysia implemented. It realized that the real race was not about being the biggest. It was about being the smartest, the calmest, the safest, and the most adaptable. Malaysia started modernizing basic services years earlier than others. It brought digital IDs, real-time government apps, instant payments, and smart traffic systems before many larger nations could even agree on them. These systems connected every part of life. A citizen could check taxes, medicines, school results, travel status, and public records in seconds. That alone pushed. The country also made strong progress in public transport. While some nations kept planning for decades, Malaysia built networks that felt futuristic. The trains got faster, the buses got cleaner, payments went fully digital, and entire routes were controlled by AI for low congestion. Even ride-hailing became part of a larger national system. This integration made the country feel organized and advanced. When a place is organized, it feels like the future. When a place avoids chaos, it feels like progress. Malaysia also jumped ahead in energy planning. Instead of waiting for crises, the country invested early in solar, hydro, and green technology. Entire industrial parks shifted to renewable power. Many homes adopted solar rooftops because the government made it easy and affordable. Large fields in Kedah, Perak, and Sabah slowly turned into green power zones. This energy stability created a foundation for industries that need clean and reliable power: chip manufacturing, cloud data centers, electric vehicle parts, and battery research. These industries love stability, and Malaysia offered it. While the world argued about supply chain risks, Malaysia became a peaceful meeting point. Companies from the United States, China, Japan, Korea, Europe, and the Middle East all set up operations because Malaysia did not take sides. It became neutral but productive, friendly but firm, small but intelligent. This neutral strategy gave Malaysia the advantage. Where other countries saw tension, Malaysia saw opportunity. It acted as a safe alternative for global factories, tech assembly plants, medical manufacturing, and green tech development. That meant thousands of new jobs, higher skills, and more investment. Malaysia also jumped ahead by focusing on education that matched future needs. Students learned coding, robotics, AI, languages, and design thinking earlier than many countries. Schools partnered with local companies so students learned practical skills instead of only theory. Universities worked with global tech giants to prepare graduates for jobs that did not even exist yet. This created a large pool of talent ready for future industries. Skilled young people are fuel for a futuristic nation. Another reason Malaysia looks like 2050 is because it protected social balance better than many countries. While some nations fell into deep political conflict, Malaysia avoided major breakdown. Even when disagreements happened, the country kept institutions running, kept streets calm, and kept the economic engine steady. Calmness is underrated, but it is one of the strongest forces for progress. A calm society can plan. A calm society can work. A calm society can innovate. A calm society can think about tomorrow. Malaysia used that calmness as fuel. Malaysia's food security strategy also helped it jump ahead. While other nations depended too much on imports, Malaysia pushed modern farming. It invested in vertical farms, precision agriculture, hydroponics, and automated irrigation. New farming centers used sensors to measure water, soil, and sunlight. Drones monitored crops in real time. Cities grew their own vegetables on rooftops. This reduced food risk and made Malaysia more self-reliant. A country that manages food well manages its future well. Malaysia also upgraded healthcare quietly but strongly. Hospitals got new technology, online appointment systems, digital health records, and AI-based diagnosis support. Telemedicine reached rural areas. Drones delivered medicines to remote villages. Public clinics expanded. The world was shocked to see Malaysia leap so far because people were used to thinking only rich nations could do this. But Malaysia proved that planning and discipline matter more than size. Tourism also made Malaysia look like the future. Airports upgraded security with facial recognition. Immigration lines got faster. Hotels moved to digital check-ins. Tourist zones became cleaner and smarter with sensors, AI cameras, and real-time information boards. Ecotourism grew with sustainable rules that protected forests, islands, and wildlife. People visited Malaysia and felt like they were seeing a preview of a modern era: friendly people, modern service, clean spaces, and nature preserved at the same time. Malaysia's multicultural identity also pushed it into the future. Instead of letting diversity become conflict, Malaysia used diversity as strength. 3 major communities and many smaller ones lived together in a way that impressed outside observers. This harmony created a global advantage. People from many countries felt comfortable doing business in Malaysia because someone there spoke their language, understood their culture, or shared their food. This soft power made Malaysia look advanced not only in technology, but in humanity. Digital payment adoption played a huge role too. Long before many Western nations shifted to cashless systems, Malaysians were already paying everywhere with QR codes. From big malls to tiny stalls, digital payments became normal. This made transactions faster, safer, and more trackable. The government could analyze data to improve services. Small businesses could grow because they had instant records of income. Digital trust grew across the economy. Malaysia also stepped ahead by keeping living costs under control. While many countries saw extreme rent, extreme food prices, and extreme taxes, Malaysia remained affordable for families. This balance attracted foreigners and convinced locals to stay. A future city is not only measured by skyscrapers. It is measured by how livable it is. Malaysia kept itself livable. The country also modernized its defense and cybersecurity quietly. While global powers focused on weapons, Malaysia focused on intelligence, cyber walls, drone defense, maritime monitoring, and cooperation with friendly nations. It became smarter instead of louder. It protected its trade routes, digital systems, and critical infrastructure. This safety created investor confidence. Malaysia also became a leader in halal technology. It expanded halal supply chains, halal logistics, halal pharmaceuticals, and halal digital certification. This industry served more than 1 billion consumers worldwide. Countries began looking to Malaysia as a standard setter. When a country becomes a global reference point, it naturally looks futuristic. Smart housing was another reason Malaysia jumped ahead. Many new homes used solar power, water-saving systems, AI appliances, and smart security. Even middle-income families could access modern housing designs. Cities expanded planned communities instead of unplanned sprawl. This made living environments cleaner and more efficient. Malaysia also promoted electric vehicles early. It supported EV charging stations nationwide. It encouraged EV part manufacturing. It attracted global brands to build battery factories. It trained workers for EV maintenance. Soon, EVs became normal, and the roads began looking like a modern sci-fi world. Malaysia's digital entrepreneurship also pushed it forward. Thousands of young creators, programmers, online sellers, video editors, and digital marketers built careers through the internet. They earned global income from local homes. This made the economy more flexible and future-proof. Malaysia built strong relationships with every major world power. It was respected by the US, China, Europe, Japan, Korea, India, and the Middle East. Instead of choosing sides, Malaysia chose progress. This neutrality protected the country from global conflicts and allowed investment to flow smoothly. Malaysia also became a leader in Islamic finance innovation. It created new financial products, digital Sharia tools, and global Islamic banking standards. Many countries followed Malaysia's example. When nations become role models, they appear more advanced. The country focused heavily on climate adaptation. It upgraded drainage, protected coastlines, improved flood response, modernized weather monitoring, and built stronger infrastructure. While some nations still debated climate change, Malaysia prepared for it. Preparation always looks like the future. Malaysia also pushed technology parks, AI labs, robotic centers, drone testing zones, and biotech research. These facilities attracted scientists and startups. Innovation spread from Klang Valley to Johor to Penang to Kuching to Kota Kinabalu. A country with many innovation hubs naturally looks futuristic. Malaysia's hospitality culture also added to the 2050 feeling. While some nations became more stressed and hostile, Malaysia stayed warm and polite. People were helpful. People were patient. People were peaceful. A society that keeps its humanity while becoming modern is a society that feels like a better future. Malaysia blended tradition with modernity. It preserved festivals, food, clothing, architecture, and nature while upgrading technology. This blend created a future that felt human, not robotic. Because Malaysia advanced in many areas at the same time: transport, digital systems, clean energy, manufacturing, healthcare, education, diversity, stability, safety, affordability, tourism, innovation, people started saying Malaysia is living in 2050 while the world is in 2025. The truth is simple. Malaysia did not jump into the future by accident. It walked there step by step. It avoided chaos, avoided extremes, avoided unnecessary fights, and focused on real development. It kept families strong, communities stable, and opportunities open. It welcomed ideas from everywhere. It learned from mistakes. It kept upgrading quietly. It kept moving forward while many countries stayed stuck. That is how Malaysia reached a point where visitors feel like they are traveling into the future. Not because the year changed, but because the mindset changed. The culture changed. The systems changed. The confidence changed. The vision changed. Malaysia became a place where the future feels possible. A place where planning works. A place where technology serves people. A place where harmony supports growth. A place where every improvement builds the next improvement. Malaysia jumped ahead because it chose to focus on progress instead of noise. It chose action over argument. It chose innovation over hesitation. It chose unity over division. It chose long-term goals over short-term popularity. People now look at Malaysia as a model for the future world. A place that rose not by power, but by wisdom. Not by size, but by strategy. Not by noise, but by discipline. Not by force, but by stability. Malaysia shows that the future is not about being the richest country. It is about being the smartest, calmest, and most prepared. That is why Malaysia feels like 2050. That is why people admire it. That is why it stands out. And that is why its story has only just begun.